All right, let's cut to the chase and talk about money, but not the way you're used to hearing about it. We're here to tear down the comfortable lies society feeds us about what success and security really are. So forget what you think you know. Today, we're going to expose the traps that are designed to keep good, hardworking people broke. This quote, this is the whole game, right here. If you want a different life, a different outcome, you've got to be willing to do what other people just won't do. See, building real, lasting wealth has nothing to do with luck. It's about making a conscious choice right now to take the harder path, the one less traveled. And it all starts in your head. Okay, let's dive right into the first and, honestly, the most tempting trap of them all. This idea that a steady paycheck means you're secure. It's the story we're all sold from day one, but it's a house of cards. It's the immediate money trap. Look at this. These are the two paths in front of you. Path A, the immediate paycheck. It looks great, doesn't it? You get a high starting salary, your friends are impressed, it feels safe. But look at that last box, stagnant potential. That's the catch. Now look over at path B. Yeah, it starts out slower, maybe a lower salary, but the focus is totally different. It's on skills, on equity. And the potential? It's literally unlimited. Every single self-made millionaire chose path B. They get that short-term comfort is the absolute enemy of long-term freedom. So how do you actually walk path B and win? You become this, a digital Swiss Army knife. And that's not just some catchy phrase. It is the single best insurance policy you could ever have in today's economy. When you have a whole arsenal of valuable, high-income skills, you stop being just another employee they can replace. You become your own greatest asset. And here's a little secret most people never figure out. You might look at fields like these and think, wow, they're so crowded. But the truth is, there's a massive shortage of real talent. Sure, there are tons of people who can kind of do these things, but the number of people who can do them exceptionally well, that number is tiny. If you truly commit to being in the top 1%, believe me, you'll find you have almost no real competition. Okay, let's move on to the next trap, because this one is everywhere, and it is poisoning our idea of what success looks like. I'm talking about the smoke and mirrors, the illusion of fake luxury, this whole culture of showing off wealth that isn't even real. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're scrolling through your feed and there it is. The leased Lamborghinis, the ridiculously expensive dinners, the perfect 5-star vacations. It's all designed to be seductive, right? To make you feel like you're falling behind. But it's just a performance. It's not real. And this number? This just blows the whole lie wide open. Behind that shiny curtain of luxury posts is a very, very fragile reality. Almost 40% of people can't even handle a tiny financial emergency. So what does that tell you? The people you see flexing online are often drowning in debt, living a life they're paying for with credit cards that will take them months, if not years, to pay off. You know, the choice here is incredibly simple. You can spend your money on things that lose value the second you buy them, all to impress people you don't even know online. Or you can put that exact same money into assets, things that grow, that produce income, that actually build your wealth over time. You have to understand, in the beginning, you cannot live like a king and build a kingdom at the same time. You have to pick one. And that illusion of wealth isn't the only damaging story we're sold. There's another one, and it's just as bad. This romantic myth of the lone wolf, the solitary genius who builds an empire all by himself. It makes for a great movie, sure, but in the real world, it's pure fantasy. Nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, makes it to the top alone. And the ultimate proof of this is the PayPal mafia. After PayPal was sold, these early guys didn't just cash their checks and disappear. No, they became this incredibly powerful network. Why? Because they shared a vision, they trusted each other, and they had skills that complemented one another. They backed each other, they funded each other's next big ideas. Even a guy like Elon Musk, who everyone thinks of as this lone genius, didn't do it alone. He was part of this collaborative force. And just look at what that collaboration created. YouTube, LinkedIn, SpaceX. I mean, these are companies that completely reshaped the modern world. That is the undeniable, incredible power of a talented network working together, investing in each other, and sharing what they know. Success is a team sport, period. So, you've learned to sidestep the salary trap. You can see right through the illusion of fake luxury, and you understand the importance of building a powerful network. You're starting to master the external game. But that's only half the battle. Now we get to the final, and by far the most difficult challenge of all. So I want you to ask yourself this, honestly. You've done all the right things on the outside. You played the game the right way. Is that it? Is the victory yours? Have you won? Because here's the final, brutal truth. After you have mastered the external world, the money, the business, the strategy, you finally come face to face with your ultimate opponent. And that opponent is you. The real battle was always and will always be internal.
Most people think building wealth is all about what you do. But honestly, the real secret is about what you don't do. It's about what you avoid. Today, we're going to break down the 7 traps that are designed to keep you from ever reaching financial freedom. This is all based on the hard-won wisdom of a guy who built his fortune from scratch. Okay, let's get in. This, right here, this is the whole game. This was the advice given to a young Mark Tilbury, and it's really the core of everything we're going to talk about. The road to real wealth, it's paved with the sacrifices you're willing to make today for a much, much better tomorrow. So here's our roadmap. We'll start with the big idea, sacrifice for freedom. Then we'll get into the traps of money and image, and then the traps of action and what you let into your brain. After that, we dive deep into the most important part, the psychology of success. We'll wrap up with the prison of comfort and, of course, a final challenge just for you.
Look, building real, lasting wealth has nothing to do with some lucky break or winning the lottery. Nope. It's about making a series of very conscious decisions to just sidestep the pitfalls that trap pretty much everyone else. And the very first battle you're going to face is all about perception.
This battle is all about how you see money and, just as importantly, the image you project to the world. If you get this part wrong, trust me, you'll be stuck running on a hamster wheel forever. So let's expose the first and probably the most common trap of all.
So let's be real clear on this. Path A, it feels safe, right? You get a good paycheck, your family's proud, but here's the catch. Your growth has a ceiling. It just stops. Path B, though, it's harder. It means prioritizing skills and ownership, actual equity, over that immediate cash. It's the only path where your earning potential can become literally limitless.
The first step on that second path is to make yourself the most valuable asset you own. When you learn high-demand skills, you basically make it impossible to ever be broke again. And here's a little secret. A lot of people get scared off by competition, but the truth is, there's a huge shortage of quality talent. If you become truly excellent in one of these fields, you're not just playing the game, you're in a whole different league.
We all see it, right? The Lamborghinis, the fancy dinners all over social media. But here's the shocking reality hiding behind that curtain. 37%. That's how many Americans can't even afford an unexpected bill of just $400. That's the real story. Behind all that flash is a very fragile house of cards, which leads us right into trap number 2. It is so much easier to impress strangers on the internet than it is to build actual wealth. That whole flexing game, it's a trap. Instead of buying things that lose value the second you buy them, like designer clothes or fancy cars, the wealthy buy assets that make more money for them. You simply can't live like a king and build a kingdom at the same time.
Okay, so we've covered the traps of money and how you look to others. Now, let's talk about execution. Because it's not just about what you buy, it's about how you work. And, this is critical, what information you allow into your mind.
We all love that story of the lone genius who changes the world all by themselves, but it's a total myth. Nobody, and I mean nobody, reaches the top alone. This is such a brilliant example. The PayPal mafia didn't just split up and go their own ways. No, they became this incredibly powerful force, co-investing and advising each other, creating a whole ecosystem of massive success.
And now for trap number 4, literally drowning in information. Ever feel like you're being pulled in a million different directions? That's because you're getting way too many inputs, opinions from your friends, your family, all those online gurus. It leads to this state of cognitive overload where your brain just freezes, it shuts down. The solution? It's simple. Work backward. First, you have to know exactly where you're going. Second, you have to brutally filter your information sources. Stop listening to everybody's opinion and only seek out focused advice from people who are already where you want to be. And third, take it one step at a time. Learn one thing, do it, and only then do you look for the next piece of the puzzle.
Okay, we've covered the external stuff. Now we're entering the most critical territory of all, the war that's happening inside your own mind. Getting this part right, well, it's everything.
Arrogant people think they know it all, so they just stop learning. They're so focused on the big, flashy prize that they dismiss the small, boring, humble steps that are actually required to get there. Just remember the iceberg principle. What you know is just the tiny little tip you can see. The vast majority of knowledge is hidden beneath the surface. Humility lets you explore it. Ego convinces you there's nothing else down there.
Now for one of the absolute biggest traps there is, the blame game. Every single time something goes wrong in your life, you have a choice to make. Are you going to reach for the magnifying glass, or are you going to reach for the mirror?
When you pick up that magnifying glass, you focus on everyone and everyone else. It's the government's fault. The system is rigged. My boss is unfair. It's a total dead end that leads to nothing but excuses. But picking up the mirror, that forces you to look at the one and only thing you can actually control: yourself, your thoughts, your actions, your choices. This is the only path to real power.
And that brings us to our final and maybe the most dangerous trap of all. It's a prison we build for ourselves, and so many of us worry we'll regret never trying to escape. This is the battle against staying exactly where you are.
And this just illustrates the point perfectly. Look at Mark Tilbury's journey. At every single stage, he pushed the boundaries. Leaving school, taking on debt to start a business, even starting a YouTube channel at age 53. Growth only happens when you intentionally step into the unknown. That space outside your comfort zone is infinite, but you have to be the one to claim it.
So you see, building wealth isn't really about making money. It's about having the discipline to avoid these 7 fundamental traps that are literally designed to keep people poor.
So here they are, all together. Chasing a salary instead of skills. Faking wealth instead of building it. Trying to go it alone. Drowning in everyone else's opinions. Letting your arrogance blind you. Blaming the world for your problems. And finally, staying locked in the prison of your own comfort.
If you can master these 7 things, you won't just be rich, you'll be free. So the final question is a simple one, and it's aimed directly at you. Are you willing to do what others won't, so you can have a life that others can't? If this explainer gave you a new way to think about things, please show your support by liking and commenting. And to keep building that wealth mindset, make sure you're subscribed to Invest Your Mindset. Thanks for tuning in.